The end is near. This confirms it. Hey guys, Britt here. Welcome to End Times Bible Prophecy. When the disciples asked Jesus, when will all this happen? What will be the sign of your coming and the end of the age? Jesus went on to cite a number of signs to look for, events that he said would take place just before his return. And one of those events is particularly interesting given what people are pursuing in our day and time. Because if what they say is true, it confirms how close we are to the second coming of Jesus Christ. So in this video, we're going to talk about what is this event that Jesus pointed to, what's the traditional interpretation of that event versus how we should actually interpret it, and most of all, we're going to talk about why you should be filled with a sense of urgency to share the good news of Jesus Christ in our day and time. But first, in case you missed it, yesterday over on the Substack at brittgillette.substack.com, put out this article, Why Will the World Worship the Antichrist? Because a time is coming when, if possible, even the elect will be deceived. Those are the words of Jesus. Why will the world worship the Antichrist? And we go through what could be some of the reasons why technology, advanced technology in particular, will make the Antichrist appear to be godlike. He will have powers that make him seem omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. He will be able to counterfeit many of the miracles of Jesus, such as feeding the 5,000, walking on water, turning water into wine, and he'll be able to replicate many miracles that took place in the Bible. So guys, make sure to head over to brittgillette.substack.com and check out that article in case you missed it. So what are we talking about here when we say the end is near? This confirms it. Let's take a look at this article right here from Futurism. It says Neuralink head of surgery says robot-human interface happening very soon. So this says, in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter, Neuralink's head of surgery, Danish Hussain, fretted that, quote, so many people think Neuralink is some evil megacorporation, when actually it's literally just out here helping the homies eat pretzels. Laugh out loud. Hussain's post referenced a video uploaded by another Neuralink staffer, which they claimed showed a man operating a slow robotic arm all via telepathy. Speculating in the comments, one fanboy posed a question about Optimus, Elon Musk's other pie-in-the-sky tech fantasy. Again, this is a commentary, not necessarily a news story when you put things like that into the story, but he said, the comment said, why not have Optimus version 2? They're training already. Could help both the companies. We're starting simple, but this will happen very soon, Hussain responded. So what are they referring to? They're referring to this tweet or X post right here, where we see a paralyzed man using his mind to open up a freezer. It says, open the freezer, take out a pretzel, open the microwave, put the plate with the pretzel inside, cook, enjoy. All via telepathy, pure brain power. So we're seeing this brain-computer interface through Neuralink, through a number of other different companies that are building this link between the brain and these external items. In this case, we have a robotic arm that is able to cook a pretzel. And again, one of the comments was, well, why not have Optimus version 2? They're training already. It could help both companies. So Optimus is this humanoid robot that Elon Musk is saying is the future of Tesla and is going to be one of the biggest industries of the coming decade. And the response was, well, we're starting simple, but this will happen very soon. Another comment says, yeah, my question is when one of the patients will get to control an Optimus bot, either by direct motion control or by higher level commands like grab. So using your brain to control a robot. That's what they're saying they want. And that leads us into this next story here. This is from Yahoo. It says Elon Musk predicts humans could live forever in Tesla Optimus robots using snapshots of their minds. Quote, if you want to be uploaded to a robot body. So this says it might sound like something out of a science fiction flick, but Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk didn't flinch when asked whether Tesla's humanoid robot Optimus could one day house a human mind. At last week's Tesla shareholder meeting, a question from the audience went straight for the philosophical jugular. Quote, do you see a path for Optimus to have human consciousness downloaded to it? Musk didn't brush it off. Quote, not immediate, he said. It's not immediate, before laying out the possibility. But if you say down the road, would you be able to say with a Neuralink, have a snapshot of what is an approximate snapshot of somebody's mind, and then upload that approximate snapshot to an Optimus body? I think that at some point that technology becomes possible, and it's probably less than 20 years. End quote. Yes, he really said that. Less than 20 years from now, it may be possible to upload a digital copy of your mind, memories, thoughts, personality quirks, and all, into a humanoid Tesla robot. So guys, this is a sign that we're nearing the end. Again, if what he's saying is true, and there are others that have pointed to the exact same thing. For instance, we have this over at Futurism. This came out over a decade ago, and it had a visual timeline of Ray Kurzweil's predictions. So Ray Kurzweil is a transhumanist, the same as Elon Musk. He has a 80+% track record in forecasting technologies and what technologies will emerge and when. And he's saying by the middle of the 2030s, or at least he was saying a decade ago, by the mid-2030s, mind uploading becomes successful and perfected, and humans become software-based. So imagine that. So we have people saying they want to download their minds, be able to live forever, transfer their minds into machines and robots. To me, this is a sign of the end. And people would say, well, I don't see where any of that is written in the Bible, Britt. I don't know if that's a sign of the end. But I would say, check the Bible again, if that's the case, because we read this in Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And here we have the typical verse that we would read in the English here showing up right away. It says, if those days had not been cut short, no one would survive. But for the sake of the elect, those days will be shortened. And again, I pointed out there's an event that Jesus pointed to, and there's a traditional interpretation of this, mostly based on these English translations here. No one will survive. Not a single person will survive. No human being would be saved, because this is not the proper interpretation of this verse if you want to understand the nuance. This one is right here where it says no flesh would have been saved, or there should no flesh be saved. If we go and we look at the original Greek that the book of Matthew was written in, we see the word that's used there is sarx, and it says right here, sarx, flesh. There would have been saved any flesh, right? Unless those days were shortened. So Jesus is saying, unless those days are shortened, meaning unless I come back, not humanity wouldn't survive, but no human flesh, no flesh would survive. And here we have people openly talking about humans becoming software-based, humans uploading their minds to robots. We see, again, transhumanism is the dominant philosophy of Silicon Valley. And I would argue among world leaders, when world leaders get together, they're talking about these advanced technologies and they're talking about transhumanism. We had Vladimir Putin get together with Xi Jinping over the summer, and they were talking about how they were going to become immortal and live forever through all these different technologies, including transferring organs. So this is how these leaders are thinking right now. And it gives us a glimpse into where the world is headed technology-wise, to where with this exponential change we're seeing coming from technology, we're seeing exponential growth in all of these advanced technologies, to the point where a decade, 2 decades from now, well, no flesh will survive, because the transhumanists want to move from human bodies to these post-human bodies. They want to upload their minds, upload their consciousness. If you read Psalm chapter 2, read the first four verses of that, and you'll get a glimpse into the same thing. We're going to break free of God's bond. He's bound us. We're going to break free of these ties. No, that's not what's going to happen. God is going to put an end to this before it gets to that point. I believe that's exactly what Jesus is talking about in Matthew 24 when he says, unless those days are shortened, no flesh will survive. I think he's pointing to our day and time. He's pointing to the specific things that people are saying when they're making these claims. Again, go read the transhumanist claims of what they want to do. Ray Kurzweil has said, we will expand outward from the planet after the planet has been infused with our intelligence. We're going to expand outward into the remainder of the universe and infuse the universe with human intelligence. He's presupposing that the universe is not already infused with intelligence, and that he's not then stepping into God's domain and coming into a direct physical confrontation with the God of the universe. And that's exactly what's going to happen. I believe that's what the Bible teaches us Armageddon is. We read in Revelation that the armies of the world gather together at Armageddon to do battle against the Lord and his anointed one. They gather to do battle against Jesus Christ. And that does not turn out well for them. Jesus prevails. It's not even close. So guys, we should be filled with a sense of urgency to share the good news of Jesus Christ with as many people as possible, because this is a sign. When we see people openly talking about this and how close we are to seeing this technologically, again, this isn't going to happen tomorrow, but the tribulation hasn't started yet, and that's at least 7 years, and they're talking about, well, a decade, 2 decades from now, there won't be any humans left. They'll will all be software based. And Jesus is saying, unless those days are shortened, no flesh would survive. To me, that's a sign. You take that with all the other signs we see. We see the nation of Israel back in the land. The modern day nation state of Israel. Again, this was a sign that 93% of Christian history, there was no nation state of Israel. We see the Jewish people back in control of Jerusalem. We see the gospel being preached around the world. We see the Gog of Magog alliance coming together. We see all of these different signs. And Jesus said, when you begin to see these things take place, know that I am near. I am right at the door. Jesus is right at the door. Guys, this is another sign telling us, calling out to us, telling the world, Jesus is coming back, yet so many people are completely oblivious. They are ignorant to what the Bible says, and they think everything's the same as it always has been, and they don't see these blaring signs right in front of them telling them Jesus is coming back. And that means, guys, Jesus is coming back for the church in the pre-tribulation rapture. And those who are left behind will have to endure the 7-year tribulation. And then the second coming of Jesus Christ takes place at the end of that 7-year tribulation. As this is a sign of how close we are to that. That means the rapture of the church is even closer. So we should take advantage of every day we have left to share the good news of Jesus Christ with as many people as possible. So make sure that you're taking advantage of every opportunity to do that. So guys, let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Make sure to check out the article over on the Substack at brittgillette.substack.com. Why will the world worship the Antichrist? Again, I believe technology plays a critical role in why we will see that happen. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below, and God willing, I'll see you on Friday.